Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, August 31st, the final day of August 2021. Steve Sipress here, and it has just begun to rain. So I am under our little patio here in the back, still getting a little bit rained on. We are having a little more monsoon action here in usually way too sunny southern Arizona. So did an experiment last week. Because I noticed anytime I tuned on cable news, depending on what channel I tuned in, it was as if there was only one story in the whole world. And I was like, wow, I thought this was news, where I could find out what's going on in the world. It's just on and on, only about one story. So I used my recorder, and I taped 1 hour, or recorded, I guess it's not tape, I recorded 1 hour of a conservative cable news channel. I recorded 1 hour of a liberal leaning cable news channel. And then I recorded 1 hour of the CNN headline news cable news channel. And I watched them all, and I'm just sharing the results with you for the conservative leaning, biased, whatever you want to call it, cable TV channel. They led off with, alert, Afghanistan's a disaster, the president should resign, he should be impeached, it's the worst thing ever, blah, blah, blah. And then they went into about 1 or 2 minutes about the impending major disastrous hurricane coming headed right towards New Orleans. And then for the whole rest of the hour, it went right back to nonstop Afghanistan. They brought on the ex-military general to say how awful it was, and Biden should be impeached. And they brought on the Gold Star parents, and they brought on the former soldiers and the former whoever, the Marines that battled in Afghanistan. This is the worst thing. He should be. But it was it. There was no more. There was no news. There was no like something new. There was no like, hey, what's happening? It was all opinion, storytelling, or what's known as a narrative. It was all what the producers or the owners of that channel, what story they wanted to tell you. And I assumed that for the other 23 hours of the day, it was likely all the same thing, because that's what prompted me to do this experiment. Anytime I tuned in, that's what it was, as if there was one story. I'm like, gee, I tuned in here to find out what's going on in the world. It's only one thing going on in the world. Oh, and the hurricane. Like twice in the hour, they brought on a weather person to talk a little about the hurricane, and then right back to Afghanistan's awful because of this. It's awful because of that. I say it's all. This person says it's all. That person says. So it's Channel North. I mean, suddenly, like, no one is crossing the border. There's nothing going on with COVID-19. There's nothing going on with the government wants to take your guns away. All those guys coming out. All those guests were told, we don't need you for a week or two, because we are just going to pound one never-ending narrative for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know when they'll stop, but we're going to pound one narrative practically nonstop, and we're pretty much not going to talk about anything else. They also brought in once, for about a minute or two, they brought in someone, I guess from the news department, to share some other headlines of what's going on. It was about 1 or 2 minutes of like 2 or 3 things going on. That was it. Okay. Over to the liberal-leaning cable channel, news channel. This one led off with the impending hurricane. Then they went into about 2 minutes on the Afghanistan situation, and then right back to the entire rest of the hour, all about the hurricane. Oh, we have this person over here and that person over here, and the winds are up to this, and here's the track, and here's where it could go, and here's where it might go, and here's where it's been, and here's how it works, and here's the temperature, and here's the winds, and here's the rain, and here's the what. It's on and on and on. And now they're evacuating the city, but some people are hunkering down. Let's talk to this person and that. Let's talk to the chief of police who's trying to get people out. Let's talk to one of the homeowners who's staying. Oh, they're battening down. They're boarding up the businesses. Let's talk to one of the. It was just nonstop, as if there was almost nothing else in the world. Yeah, they talked about the Afghanistan for a minute, and they brought on somebody again to talk about some minor things for like a minute. That was it. So one narrative on one channel, one narrative on the other one, as if that's pretty much the only thing happening in the world. And then the 1 hour on the headline news station finally got some news. They let off with 5 minutes on Afghanistan, and then 2 minutes on the impending hurricane. And then, lo and behold, there were other things happening in the world. There were wildfires in California, and there was a recall election going on in California, and there was a crime going on in the cities, and there was, obviously the pandemic, and the vaccines being approved, and the COVID-19, and all the numbers, and the variants, and what's going on, and they brought on the doctors, and they brought on all the experts, and then they even went to some sports news, and they went into some entertainment news, like somebody had a new album, and somebody's doing this, and somebody's getting married to somebody, some gossip coming on. I mean, then they had some human interest stories. There was some dog that they rescued being lost under something stuck in some kind of a, I don't know, sewer pipe under the street. There, a few minutes on the dog, and a few minutes on, a bunch of other stories. Other thing, somebody was lost in the woods camping, and they were found, and whatever it was, there was a bunch of stuff. There was some news. So, what's the point of all this? As always, it's a business lesson for you. This is what you want to do with your business, with your marketing. You want to be telling a story. You want to be telling a narrative that leads people to the conclusion you want them to be led to, so that they want to do business with you. So let's say you are a roofer. Here it is raining, and you want to tell the narrative of like, hey, when the rain comes, that could damage your roof, and even if you think just the leak is tiny, over time, that could get to some standing water in there, or that could turn into some mold, and that could cause lots of trouble and lots of cost for you to remediate that and get rid of the mold, and your family could get sick, and now it could be a major problem. So you better call us to come out for our free roofing, whatever analysis, where we will get up there and take photos and show you and take a video, and we'll show you what's going on with your roof so you can see, does it need any work? Does it not? Is everything okay? You really just ought to know what's going on with your roof. We'll do it for free. Give us a call, go to our website, blah, 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 blah. And then you continue on Facebook and emails and videos and YouTube, and all your marketing talks about this story. Storms come and storms go, but once the storm is gone, there might still be damage going on up there. If there was any standing water at all, it's still eating away and causing, and you can go on and on with this narrative as if there's nothing else going on. Nothing about, your roof needs to look better, nothing about, siding, nothing about anything else going on in the world. Just the narrative you want to tell. And you can do this with pretty much every single business, whether you are a divorce attorney, a chiropractor, a heating and air guy, a landscaper, a dog walker, whatever business you have, pick a narrative that leads people to feel, I better call these people for help because this problem could get worse. And if you need inspiration, record an hour or two of cable TV news. It's news-based entertainment. It's not, you don't get news, you get a narrative. So it's a news-based narrative. They find something in the news that fits the story they want to tell, and then they ram it home over and over and over and over. And that's what you ought to do with your marketing, so you can lead people to a particular belief. That's what these cable TV news channels are all about, at least here in the United States. They're all about leading people to believe what the producers, owners, whoever's in charge of these stations want to use their airwaves or their cable TV waves, whatever it's called, to make people believe. They want them to believe a certain way. You as a business owner want people to believe a certain way. Use the power of storytelling, the power of creating and then focusing on and drilling home a narrative until people have no choice but to believe what you're saying and give you a call. That's my advice for Topical Tuesday, final day of August 2021. Tomorrow starts the final third of the year, the 4-month push to the end. I'll be with you every day right here, including tomorrow on World Wide Web Wednesday. So as the rain seemed to have calmed down a little bit, no, there's still raining out there, and it'll be back later even more. Hopefully it's fantastic wherever you are, and hopefully you get really good at creating and pounding home a narrative that leads people to do business with you. Thanks for being here today. Catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye-bye.